Caution. This podcast is designed for mature audiences. We delve into topics surrounding sexuality and intimate relationships in a candid and open manner. Please note that we are not licensed marriage or sex therapists, and the content shared here is intended solely for entertainment and informational purposes. If you are under 18 years old or prefer not to engage in explicit discussions about sex, relationships, or mature language, we advise against proceeding further. However, if you're of legal age and comfortable with such content, feel free to settle in, grab a beverage, and enjoy this episode. Just remember, time flies when you're having fun. Oh, and the stories you are about to hear are true. The names have been changed to protect the guilty.
Welcome to Beyond Monogamy, where every episode is a journey of discovery, liberation, and endless possibility. Join your hosts Roger Johnson and Janet Valentine as they peel back the layers of convention, inviting you into a world where passion knows no boundaries. Beyond Monogamy, a podcast that transcends the traditional norms of relationships to uncover the raw, unfiltered stories about the lifestyle. And now, your hosts, Roger Johnson and Janet Valentine.
Let's get started. Welcome to Beyond Monogamy. I am Janet Valentine.
I'm Roger Johnson.
I'm Barbie.
And I'm Steve.
And Diablo was supposed to jump in here as a repeat guest, but sometimes the guests don't show up. Maybe he shows, maybe he doesn't. If he does, we'll pop on in. Welcome again if you're a frequent listener. Yep, we're on the front porch this time. I don't think we have ears in any rooms to discuss. This is a lifestyle podcast. Some of us are active, some of us are semi-active, and some of us are retired. You'll figure it out when you listen to us. If it's your first time. If it is your first time and we refer to a podcast from before, the easiest place to find it is on the website, which is beyondmonogamypodcast.com. It's all smashed in together. You got to spell monogamy correctly. We always start out with, or we try to start out with news, song, or word. And I have a song that I want to talk about, but I know that Steve has a word. So let's start with the word.
Let's start with the word. Well, I have a couple, and the one I'm going to share, every time I see it, I still laugh to this day. And I'm probably going to get kink shamed for this, but that's okay, right? Because we don't do kink shaming. So The word of the day is the Adele. As in the singer, the Adele.
I had the same one.
No.
So I recuse myself from guessing what it is.
The Adele. Okay.
Yep.
The Adele.
I'll help you on the punchline, though.
So if I'm
Is it like
guessing,
a title
I'm
to her song?
well, I'm thinking it's a heavier woman that once you get to know her, she's damn fine. Because that's how I think of Adele. But, what do you think, Barbie?
I'm at a complete loss, 100%. But your description makes the most sense to me. It does. I mean, now that you've said that, that's what's sticking.
Right, because she looks like
But to me, she was beautiful. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Period.
She's big and beautiful and fun and fuckable.
Smoking.
Yes, she
Smoking,
is.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Okay, here we go.
the Adele.
The Adele is when you put one finger in her pussy and one up her ass and can feel each finger through the little wall separating them, and you say,
"Hello from the other side."
That's why I wondered, is the title of her song? But that's a lot. The Adele, huh? Wow.
Janet can't even talk.
The Adele. Well, we got to remember that one.
Before I do the song,
yeah.
it says I'm gonna have to look it up on so give me some time because I had it pulled up and I didn't print it off, and because I'm recording it won't let me look up the words. But I would like for somebody else to talk about news for a second while I pull this up.
I got your news.
Good.
Okay.
Got your news. I thought I screenshotted it, but just give me a second. We may have to edit out the awkward gap here.
And we like awkward gaps.
And if you got yours, I've been trying to kind of pull it up. Oh, it was epic. It was
Okay,
epic. Where did she send it to me?
so let me talk about the song.
Oh,
So this was
okay. Go ahead, do your song.
So yesterday, we ended up our nice, comfortable, good rule of six met last night. It was supposed to be the rule of four, and then the other couple said, "Hey, we're in town. Let's come on over." And they joined us, and so it ended up being great. It was the rule of six, and so it was Kyle and Lola and the other couple, and we had a great time, and we were playing. And I had taken Beauregard's advice, and I had made not only do I have a massage list, but I have a let's play list, which has when you're getting down and dirty. So I switched it over to let's play list, and this song came on, and the song is Despacito. Okay. And so great song to fuck to. And it's been around for 5 years. And Lola says to me, "Have you ever looked up the English translation to this song?" And she said, "Cause it is nasty. It is dirty, nasty. Great." So I looked up the English words to this song. It's been around for 5 years.
Bring it.
It's Fonzie and Daddy Yankee. So it starts out and it says, um, "Oh, oh, oh, hey, yeah. I've spent a lot of time looking at you. I must dance with you today. I saw your gaze was calling me. Show me the way that I will go." And then it says, "You are the magnet and I'm the metal. I'm getting closer and forming a plan. Just thinking about it accelerates my pulse. Now I'm already liking it more than usual. All of my senses are asking for more. We must take this slowly." And the chorus is slowly. "I want to breathe in your neck slowly. Let me whisper things into your ear so that you remember it if you're not with me slowly. I want to undress you with kisses slowly, to sign the walls of your labyrinth, and to make a manuscript of your body." Okay. So, to sign your pussy. Okay. Basically. And then it's says, "I want to see your hair dance and I want to be your rhythm. Show my mouth, your favorite places. Let me trespass your danger zones until I make you scream and you forget your last name." Okay.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
basically, I want to fuck you until you forget your last name. Okay. And then it goes on, and I won't read the rest of it. But y'all, if you want to, this is great. There's a couple of different versions out there that translate it, and some of them are the dirtier way that we would translate it. But Lola was talking about last night. Do you understand? He's basically saying, "I'm gonna fuck you until you forget your last name."
I
That's
should
why
have
it's
put
got
more
such good
energy into
rhythm.
learning Spanish. I should
I
have
know.
learned
No kidding.
Spanish.
No kidding.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I
We've
like
been
it.
left out.
That's one of the wonderful ones because the little 11-year-old and 12-year-old girls, were running around singing this song like Despacito.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
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 Oh my.
Probably seen parents
What's
dancing
the
with their kids to that song, and the whole
Of
time
course.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I,
That puts a new perspective on
I,
it.
are we ready for some news? Is a little
Yes.
bit of different
Bring on
twist.
the news.
Stumbled across an article. Doesn't matter how credible. Bottom line is, right?
It's
Steve's
good.
picking up what I'm putting down. It is the best pussy list of 2025.
Oh,
Ooh, interesting.
So, like,
That's
if you,
pretty subjective, but go
it,
ahead.
I'm gonna, yeah, I know, we're gonna put it to, if you go to getting out to parties or meet and greets, events, this is what you want to be out on the watch for. Here is your bucket list.
Okay.
Um, Number 10, not a fan of this one, and I'm going to say that eventually our emails are going to get out there and people are going to hear this stuff and react. Look, I didn't make the list. Occasionally suicidal chicks. Probably not going to find that at a swinger party.
No.
Oh
Well, you
no.
know what though?
I've
Hey,
seen cray cray.
crazier
There's on
shit.
cray
Mm,
Yeah.
crazy hotline. There's some
yeah,
Crazier shit
cray
has
cray
been
people out
happening.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
you hit a crazy girl at a swinger party, you're going to love it. And let's just put that as number 10. Okay, number 9
I
then.
know Steve is thinking Shaney. I know that you are thinking Shaney.
If you've been doing this long enough, we all know one.
Oh yeah. Oh
uh,
yeah. One. Yeah.
number 9, yoga girls.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
flexible,
Oh,
baby.
I was
Oh
thanking
yeah.
yoga.
Oh.
I was thanking
Wee.
yoga
Oh
last
yeah.
night. Thank you, God, because
Yeah.
you guys forget
Absolutely.
and you just take my leg and throw it back. And I was in the happy baby position last night getting fucked, and I was like, I am so glad that I did my yoga for the last couple of weeks. Just saying.
That's right. That's
Number
right. You got to
8.
stretch.
Yeah, that guy, yoga girl can go. She can go multiple rounds. Number 8, girls with waist beads.
Oh,
They're walking around naked. They got a little waist bead
Oh,
belt. Yeah,
okay.
hone in on it.
yeah.
Go for it.
The only way
I think
I
it takes
is,
quite the
is
waist to
if they
pull
can
that off.
convert into anal beads.
Oh,
Like if we could
that's
just
a
put
lot
it
of
in
beads.
space.
Oh,
That's a
You
lot of
can have it
beads.
tied around
Yeah,
and
I'm
going
just
in.
saying.
if the bead belt is long enough and
Yeah,
has a long
just
enough
tuck it up,
tail,
tuck it in.
You guys said you need to have a long tail. This is a new product for us. I'm thinking
Oh,
anal beads
oh,
that are waist beads. They do two things, and then you can easily take them off at the party and use part of them for the anal beads. Why not?
We,
Okay.
yep, we need to get
hey,
that going. That's going to be a Beyond Monogamy exclusive
yes,
product.
Yes.
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 Uh,
We can come
uh,
up with a name.
So
We,
ask Elle, would you if we had waist beads, if we had
and
waist
she gone.
beads well, he'll have to ask her. Steve will have to ask her.
L, if they had a waist bead belt that turned into anal beads, would you wear one? Fuck yes, absolutely.
I'll always have a special place in my heart for her.
Roger says he'll always have a special place for you in his heart.
Okay.
Number
and other
7,
places, and
Okay.
other
uh,
places, other
post
places.
post bachelor degree chicks.
Okay.
I don't know. Didn't make the list.
But
Uh,
I mean,
I'm a post
but
bachelor degree chick, so I'm
I am
out.
too.
Okay.
we
And
can
so are
Wait.
you.
we'll all
Because you
be
have a
on board.
brain.
We'll all be on board with number 6.
You have a
Newly
brain.
divorced.
Oh
Newly
yeah.
divorced. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I can see
yeah.
that
Newly
one.
divorced
Uh-huh.
gets it out. Yeah.
Seriously, both sexes. Yeah,
Oh,
Right. New
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have a lot
Post.
of fun with that.
I can speak the women I've encountered. Post divorce, they are either there for exactly the reason.
Mhm.
Talking to you just in their mind, going, this is. We can talk about this another time. This isn't. I didn't come here for good conversation. Let's,
Yeah,
in their mind, you could see it. They're doing that,
I
or
just need to be fucked, and I need to be
that's
fucked in the
right.
way he never
yeah.
did.
Isn't this a
And I
I
sex
just
need to
party
do the things, the
I just
dirty
got
things that I always wanted to
that
do,
I
and I
want
got
to do?
made fun
Yeah.
of for. Yeah.
I just got divorced. I came here with my friend. She said I'd have a good time, and I was like,
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
that's
have a
all
good
I
time.
need you to say
Yeah,
right then. I'm going. Your friend was right. Let's go.
yeah.
Well, and on a
Boom.
lower level, it's the girl that wasn't married but just went through a breakup pussy. I don't know if that's sorry if I jumped the gun on that, but I would put that almost in the same category
Oh, it's
No.
the
because
same. It's the same.
Uh, number 5, weirdo astrology queens.
oh no, I'm out.
But
No,
you know what? They're out
no,
there. They are
right.
thick. They are
But they
thick.
don't fuck right. I'm sorry. The people that are all like, you have to have the right moons in order for us to be
Oh,
together. That's just bullshit. Show me your
they're
dick.
wearing their
Okay.
Right.
crystal. They're wearing their crystal so that, they can have a better orgasm.
Yeah, no
I'm
Or
gonna
my
way.
make it. I'm gonna
orgasm
make that
crystal.
rock glow, baby. Let's go.
Hey, now
Right. I'm
All
gonna
right.
put that.
All right.
if the astrology lady had her waist bead belt on. Yes,
Yeah.
Sure.
And could do
Okay.
yoga.
the crystal
And could
And
beads.
do
do
Yeah.
yoga.
yoga. Okay. You put all those
Number
together, but
Yeah.
number
what?
Oh,
4,
Okay.
unmedicated mentally ill babes.
oh no. No, no, no. No. None. No. Uh-uh.
Those people will kill you.
Run.
They will
Run.
kill you. They'll have a knife or a gun or
Yeah,
something. Oh
You
my
should
yeah,
God.
run. And they
yeah.
are there, but you
There's
can sense it and run away.
you're
We
gonna
met this
assume a certain amount of risk on that one.
we
Oh
met this
yeah.
one
Oh,
couple and we went out to dinner with them, and as we're walking in the parking lot to go back to our home to play, she tells Fabio that she watched her mother get killed by somebody else with her high heel when she was 4 years old. And I just was like, are we really going to go back to play with this person? And Fabio's eyes were like, oh, yeah, psycho chicks are
It's
great.
like
So we
I
oh.
gotta.
Ooh.
There is one that
Ooh.
lives near us, and oh, is so bad. I hit it once. She's married. When she was married, and she's since separated, divorced, all that, and been on her own for a bit, and just still friends with her on Facebook. And I see her, and she posts, and she will remind you how batshit crazy she is.
Mhm.
And Deal always look at me, and I'm just like, look how she'll post, and it'll always have a pretty sexy picture, and I'm like, she's lonely. Can't you tell? And Deal be like, I give you as free run as I can. And I just trust me. No, just like this bullshit. Anyway, moving on. Number 3. This one, this one will get you a an acronym on the end of your signature. You can call yourself the legend if you close this one. Lesbians.
Oh, guys always want to do a
Closeted
lesbian.
bisexual
Oh,
lesbian.
duh, bullshit. That's
I'm
so
sorry.
that's a
It's
guy who wrote this thing. That is totally
And
a
ugh.
that's
guy,
so
and we
common.
know.
That's just
I
so common.
I have done a lesbian, and it was the worst sex I have ever had.
Yeah,
And I
Well,
did
you
her.
she's
know,
not into you.
And I did her twice. Now, and I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging. But Janet and Barbie, the first time we had sex, she just laid there. I'm going, well, maybe I had an off night. So okay. So the second time we did it, and again nothing. I'm going, oh, I brought my A game tonight, and it's not me. At the time, didn't know she was a lesbian, but then she finds out she's a lesbian. So
that's a fantasy versus reality thing.
I think
That's
so. I'll
in
agree.
your
Yeah.
head. In your
Oh
head, the
yeah.
fantasy is you want to do a lesbian. The reality is she has said she doesn't like dick. Okay.
Right.
And then
I'm
you have
not into
decided that
you.
your
Yeah.
dick is going to somehow change that decision. That's the
right.
hubris that's involved there. It's
Yeah.
just, no. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I got my graduate
No,
degree stuff
I'm
in there
Yeah,
when saying
but
those
you,
big
yeah.
words.
but yeah, but you're right. You're exactly right because, like I said, I had no idea she was a lesbian till after the fact, but she had, and it's not that they don't like dick; they don't like what it's attached to.
Well,
Yeah.
they both.
Yeah, yeah,
They don't. It's a sensation they don't like, they don't want, and you're right. It's what in their head. It's not attached to. So for you to say you want to do a lesbian is like saying I want to listen to polka music when I'm in New Orleans.
right,
Okay.
exactly.
Uh, uh,
That's good. Polka music.
no, number 2,
Yes.
I'm gonna preface with
Moving
saying
on. Moving on.
I disagree with it up front. Again, I didn't make the list. It's just on there. I was looking at the ones with honorable mention, thinking about just subbing one in and dumping this
Mhm.
one. But we'll hit on this. I'll give each of you like 10 seconds and we're done. Skinny women.
Oh
Oh
no.
yeah. No, I think that I can see
Yeah,
that.
some guys.
I can see
There's
people like
guys
them.
that want to do skinny women. They're
Yeah.
attracted to skinny women. Fine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Then you better run from me, dude.
I like them a little thicker. I like some curves. It feels better on my hand. I love having things to grab onto. It is an absolute turn on. So,
But
like I
there's a
said,
reason why in
I disagree.
profiles, SLS, SDC does not have the term. You do not see the term, my wife is skinny
Yeah.
or she
Oh
is skinny.
no.
Right.
No.
Number one
But okay, go ahead.
on the list.
Mhm.
Uh, need Mandingo to throw a drum roll in here. Married housewives,
Oh yeah.
bar none. Bar
It's
none. Number
kind of,
one.
Yeah. I
yeah,
could see that.
Married Housewives is right, I would
Yeah, I could
think.
see that.
I
Oh
think
You know,
yeah.
it's the.
because,
I think it's honestly the majority of what you'll run into at swinger parties. Also,
Well,
I,
I just remember that's kind of how I transitioned to begin with. I was in a marriage where I wasn't real happy and I was always sexually charged.
right.
And the internet came around and I found a new freedom, and would meet people at a
Well,
hotel and fuck and
because
no strings attached.
if you're a married housewife, and I mean the term housewife is, I think it's married. You've been with the guy for a while. You have eaten chicken and rice for dinner every night for the
Yep,
last 20
yep,
years.
yep.
Okay. And so then when you do
Then when
go
somebody says,
into,
"Oh, you're sexy" or "You're
and you,
pretty" or
that's
something, you just
steak, escargot, and,
yep.
a creme brulee. Let's
That's
go.
right.
Do it.
That's right. It was a great self-esteem booster. It
Oh, yeah.
was, I mean, all of it. Just
Oh,
and
yeah.
it,
and you want sex, you're still at that age and you're still at that place in the game where this
Right.
is fun, no strings attached, just fuck.
from a purely biological standpoint,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
the 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 stress relief you get off of the dopamine dump.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you. You said, I didn't write this list. I didn't write this list. Who wrote the list?
I uh
What's your source?
I
I'm
Chat
asking you.
GPT.
I honestly don't know. D
Chat
said it.
GPT.
No,
Chat
no, no, not
GPT.
Chat.
Did
Chat
D write
GPT would
it?
have done a much better job. uh,
True.
D was doom scrolling and just
Came
came
across
across
it.
something and
Let's just give
screenshotted
you
it.
the let's give you the AI assignment then. Ask Chat GPT or go in and ask Gronk this, the unfiltered Gronk, and ask him for what is the top 10, traits of the best pussy. Let's see what happens.
I don't know if I'd use the word pussy.
Well, at the Gronk, well, I said the unfiltered one, it'll take that. The AI is
Oh,
written to
okay.
take that. Yes, but we'll see. I'm asking Roger to do that
I
next time.
will.
All
I
right, there you
will.
Now,
go.
right, because we've done profiles via Chat GPT, so
Yeah.
let's try something else. Now, Chat GPT will eventually find our little podcast and be like, "Oh, you guys were talking about me, and you shouldn't."
There's a.
You
There's
know,
a. I
Hey,
mean,
it's
it's a thing.
free. It's free. All you
Yeah,
got to do is
I
sign
would
up.
love
It's
it if
free.
Chat
Yeah,
GPT said, according to the podcast Beyond Monogamy,
that's
the
right.
top 10.
right?
Anyway, the honorable mentions are fairly entertaining. There's a
Oh,
Okay,
couple
good.
of them that
let's
are.
hear them.
And we kind of talked about this. Baby mamas who don't have their kids.
Oh, yeah. It's got that could
Okay,
go with the housewife thing, I think.
Uh,
I think it's the same. Like if a woman gets the opportunity to be away from her kids and have some freedom, it's
oh,
the same.
100%.
Yeah.
Chicks with those weird tapestries hanging in their rooms.
That goes with the crystal people and the astrology people.
uh,
I'm sorry. If you go to my room, you see that painting that we made at the
you
sex party
resemble
Oh,
where they
fuck.
threw
that?
paint all over me. So I have a weird tapestry, and so I would technically count because if you see that weird painting and realize this was because a bunch of people at a swingers party threw paint
Tap
on me,
their
and then we
butt on it.
smashed it against the
Yeah.
tapestry. Yeah, that's where I am.
This next one, I'm pretty sure I've checked this box. This is probably the one that I'm on the hunt for this year.
Oh,
Lawyers
good.
with drinking problems.
Oh, God. I can't tell you how many of those I've fucked. I cannot even.
All
I
right.
could. I could make an alphabetical list of how many lawyers I've fucked with drinking
I
problems.
won't say that's a predominantly male profession, but it's more than
Oh,
50% male.
oh yeah.
But there's
God, I
enough
have
women
fucked
out
a bunch
there
of them.
The job itself can be stressful. I think the odds are in my favor of finding this.
Oh yeah,
I,
piece of cake,
I,
piece of
oh
cake,
yeah, and that
piece
one's
of cake.
true. Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
I
I
don't
can't
know.
even tell you how many.
I don't know what this one is. Chicks who always need a retwist. Let me
What
Google
does
that real quick.
retwist mean?
I'm gonna Google
Huh.
that. Um, and
Need a
then
request.
girls who work nightlife jobs. That's
Well,
the last one with honorable mention.
The only way to fuck them is in the afternoon.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what makes it fun.
Or if you, I
Hmm.
mean, I think
Before you get tired.
if you can catch
Yeah.
them in the morning and they're still all wound up from work. I mean, I think, and they know they're going to sleep really good after
Right.
a
Then maybe
solid
it's a
romp.
4 a.m. fuck or it's a 4 in the afternoon
Yes.
fuck.
Oh God, if
Oh
I could,
yeah.
oh,
Or both. Or
if I could,
both, right? You do her when she gets home from work and then,
And
get her all to
before.
sleep. And then when she wakes up,
oh, I would be that's on my bucket list for life. To because I get up at 4 a.m. and I go to the gym and I'd skip the gym and go by and just slam the hell out of somebody. And then if I got a text again at around 2:30, like, "Hey, got time to swing by on your way home? You got any left in
Yeah.
you?"
Yeah. 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 There you
I
oh,
go.
if
I
I
think you
want to
can
check.
find that.
I want to
You
check
can
that
find
box
that.
sometime in my life. I probably checked that box about 100 times and
Uh huh.
didn't see, but
Uh huh.
does that count?
Well.
Does
um
that count?
and that's home
She
base. So
she get
fucking around on home base is it's okay. It counts, you know. So
it
it's
does.
incest was what I call it, but it's home base.
Incest.
I I don't want
Not
to take any
strangers.
credit. I don't want to take any credit away from her because it was great. But no,
Right. But that's the kind of
I
sex
gotta hit it on the way to work and on the way home.
that kind of sex
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. If you get somebody who's open minded enough. Now, you were not here. Are you done? Sorry, because I have other things to talk about.
go ahead. I'm googling chicks with a retwist.
We
Okay.
got
Go
to
ahead.
figure out
So
what retwist is.
so you were not here last time because you had to take your beautiful, wonderful, loving, dick grabbing, um, shove this in her pussy wife,
Deep
D,
throating. Oh yeah.
right,
The queen.
to her birthday dinner, and so you missed our recording. I have been behind because work has been kind of crazy, and so we have not processed that recording for you to listen to. So I'd give you a quick rundown on what happened the last episode.
Hmm.
The title of the last episode is Grecian glue stick. Okay, that was the word. So you got a guess as to what Grecian glue stick is?
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Introducing Coconut Slickums, the ultimate personal lubricant that brings a touch of tropical paradise to your most adventurous sex party moments. Made from 100% pure coconut oil, Coconut Slickums offers a silky smooth glide that's as natural as a unicorn breeze practicing the rule of 6 or DP. No more worrying about synthetic ingredients or greasy residues. Just a luscious moisturizing experience that feels as good as it sounds. Perfect for enhancing intimacy or just adding a bit of luxurious fun to your day. So go ahead, indulge in the tropical treat your skin deserves with Coconut Slickums. Because when it's this smooth, it's always a perfect day at the meet and greet. To learn more, visit BeyondMonogamyPodcast.com.
Let's get back to hearing from the guilty.
I can't think of the front side of it, but it's when you didn't clean up after sex and you get home and your dick's stuck to your leg.
That's fantastic. Yeah. It's a glue and it sticks.
More for the guesses than for the actual meanings of the word. Steve, you want to hit the meaning of Grecian glue stick for us?
Yeah, sure. The greasy glue stick. When you're fucking a woman, you come out and you come on her face, and the cum glues her eyes shut, basically.
Yeah. You come on her eyes.
Yeah, come on her eyes, and you glue her eyes shut.
I'm like Barbie. It's a glue stick. You used it as a glue stick.
Face painting. Oh wait, glue stick. It's turned into. It's gone past
Well,
paint.
first of all, I can't believe it has a name, and I can't believe that it's a thing that people actually like do that
No, that's
deliberately.
bukkake
I mean,
party.
I've
You
had
know,
it happen.
it's
I've had it
it's a
happen
derivative.
numerous times.
It's a derivative of bukkake party,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
yeah. Well, and it doesn't have to be intentional at all. You
Oh
know.
No.
well, yeah. Then it
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
happens. It
yeah.
happens.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it
it
is
happens.
the reason why Steve got goggles and Fabio
Yeah,
got goggles, and
that's
I
right.
I would I would totally get goggles because that's not I love the taste of cum. Okay, but in my eyes, I'm like, oh please God,
No,
aim a little
yeah,
better.
no, yeah.
Please act like you're
And
aiming for
especially
my
if you have
mouth and not my
contacts.
eyes.
Yeah,
Or
contacts.
spackly.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Okay, so
and
that
And then
go
your
ahead.
makeup runs. It's
yeah.
just,
Well, and I don't know for a fact, but Elle has said that it burns when it gets in your eyes.
Right, it does.
Okay.
So it's
I
not.
mean, if it tastes salty, there's a little salt in it. It's gonna burn.
That's why you should aim for my mouth and not my
yeah,
eyes. It's like
Yes.
just the
yeah,
gentlemanly
don't
thing to
they?
do. When you're
That's
swinging your
right.
dick around and spraying out the cum, hit the mouth, please.
Be
Don't.
polite.
Well,
Be
if you
polite.
ever
Aim for this area
okay,
or the tip.
Jan, yeah, Janet, the next time that you get to see Beauregard,
All
you
right.
tell him that you want him to come on your face or in your mouth and see what happens.
Okay.
It's okay because it's just not gonna hit your mouth. It's gonna go everywhere. There's so much of it.
Yeah.
L
Well,
took the last one was all over. So
okay. And so that brings us back to something we've been talking about for the last couple of episodes, which is the sexual Olympics. And what you missed, Roger, last time was
Uh-huh.
that Barbie came up with uh, the event of simultaneously coming with two dicks. So like a tug of war type thing of one and the other
I
and
love
trying
it.
to make them simultaneously come. And so I was playing at the party last night and I let them know that this was a topic. And we discussed it and said whether or not the female version, the male female version could happen. Because I know that Kyle's whole fetish is that he wants to have three women lined up on the edge of the bed and he just go from one to the other and make all three of them happy. And I said, can't we have a female version of trying to make the females come? It's a little bit more difficult, but trying to make them come simultaneously. And they said the same thing as, well, that's going to be a really hard thing. And I said, but that's
Yeah.
why it's the Olympics. Okay. Because this is not for amateurs to do. This is for somebody who knows how to make this happen and somebody who's really good with the G spot and licking of the pussy. And, so
I don't
that was
know.
discussed. But they also came up with last night, so this is the secondhand thought from them, which is that we need to do something almost like the figure skating freeform competition, where you have couples that come up with creative ways to do making each other come, and then the judges judge you on timing of the coming, but also on degree of difficulty, okay, and position, right?
And you have to throw in a twist. You got to have some standards in there, like they do on the ice skating stuff, where you have to do
There,
one of those flips, or
there
you
are
have
certain
to, yeah,
there are
you
certain
have
things
to
that you
do
have to
something.
do. So you
You
might
have
have
to
different
spend at least
categories.
20 seconds on the clit. You
Right,
must spend
right.
20.
We could have it just like, things that you have
Oh,
to do with diving competition, like there has to be a
yes,
pike that's involved in this, or there has
yeah,
to be a somersault that's
that's
involved in this.
right.
You can have some basics that have to happen, right? Like you have to
And you
change
can't go
positions
over
at
this
least
amount
three
of time.
times, right?
Yeah, and you can't go over this amount of time. So if you do, you
Right,
scratch. Yeah.
exactly. And so
my
we could set that up at a time.
And the woman is hooked up to electrodes, so we know it's not a fake organ.
Ooh,
It's the real deal. You
okay.
have to work it.
my
Mm-hmm.
my triple axle move will always be up against the wall.
Oh, I know. Like
Yep. That's a good one. That's a good one. Can you
that's
imagine how that could be an event? Woo! Which
You
guy can hold
you
this
could have
girl up? And
you could have individual events like the up against the wall event, but then you could have the freestyle one, which is involving several of the events at one time, sticking it together and saying, hey, it's
oh,
how do you want to do this? I want to start out with her on the bed with her legs up on my shoulders. I want to suck her toe, and then I want to grab her and take her over to the wall and fuck her there because that's Steve. Okay. And then, that's eight out of 10 or 9 out of
yeah, that's right.
right.
You'd
One
you'd you,
9.2.
you'd nearly need the ultimate sexual playground
Oh yeah.
because and you'd have to come everybody have to come into it blind and just use their creativity and
Oh, true.
like
So they
like
don't know what the obstacles are.
but you can't just put a woman in a swing. I mean, that's things everybody can do, but you know, if you can get her in a swing and figure out a way to be off the ground yourself,
Oh yeah.
and
There you
and
go.
then and then still come, you know, um, I I think a
Now that's
degree
an
of
event.
difficulty would definitely come in there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
You
you
got to
have
hold
degree of
yourself up
difficulty.
with your arms. Yeah.
And I'm all for this needs to be done in age groups. Okay.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
because you
We
have
got,
different challenges at different ages so that you
and
have
like I
the,
said,
or you could also have the older woman, younger guy category or
oh,
older
or
Mm,
guy,
vice
younger
versa.
woman category, right? Because there's
I vote
certain
for that.
things in there, right?
But I still want the Paralympics.
I,
I'll,
older,
I'll, I'll
ol-
be better at
ol-
that.
older,
I'll be much
older,
better there.
older paired with younger, I think is a great one. And I don't know what the parameters are on the younger, but let's call it inexperienced.
Oh,
I mean, if
I
you got a younger, experienced one, that's just practically bringing a racehorse.
well,
so
that's
but
true.
it's also
But that's
on
what you
it's
want in
on
the
my
Olympics.
it's on my bucket list to do a guy in a wheelchair. And it stems from I have a friend that he got hurt and when he was 18, rolled his car over and is in a wheelchair. He and I have flirted for the last 20 years. And I know he can do it because he's got 3 children and he's happily married. I don't know if he's in the lifestyle or not, but I would so do him because
Oh,
just to see once to do somebody in a wheelchair, just to see how that feels would be fun. And just to
oh,
see the look on their face because he's sad. He does have sex and he does feel the coming. But to be
Okay.
in total control of a guy that's sitting in the wheelchair, yep, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got a fucking wheelchair in the garage. We can do this.
Doesn't count when
Not
you
the
can move
same.
it.
That's
Not the
right. It's
same.
not
Let me
role
strap
playing.
you down.
Not the same. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a
I've got
good
a
one.
fucking wheelchair in the garage. What's that really meant as a fucking wheelchair? Do you use it with, do you?
It's the only reason why I'm saving it. And no, we haven't used it. Just
Yet, just say yes.
I
Oh,
think the equivalent. Like I could not compete with the simultaneous what you're talking about. I could not compete
Synchronized coming.
trying trying to make two women squirt. I am just some kind of left hand retarded. A girl's not gonna lay there and let it happen. It's so bad. I could,
oh,
however, I feel be competitive if you had three women lined up and it was a
Yeah.
timed event to make each of them
And
pro- projectile squirt.
that was also what was
I,
said was
yeah.
that we should do that. That was brought up last that we should do something like that. A little bit less difficult, but yeah, to go from one to the other, to time it to see who could come. Or they said the event could be not to come, you know. Um, how do you, and I said, it doesn't work for a guy because he can take a shot and that shot will make him not come for 4 hours. So we'd have to drug test and make sure that they're not using Viagra or the shot. But it's how long can you go without coming while somebody's teasing you and fucking you and doing all those things? Because
There used to,
I'd say uncle in a minute.
Oh, I'd give it right up.
there used to be this show called Sports Science. And I mention
Okay.
it because I'll just tell this one thing. They did a ton of things on this show, but one of the things they did was the old saying, if you play professional sports, like don't have sex before the game, and that whole thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so they took a group of pro football players and divided them up and turned this into a complete science experiment. Half of them, they measured everyone's testosterone level out of the gate, and then had half of them abstain for 3 days prior to the game, and then had half of them just fuck their brains out at will, and then they pulled all their blood before the game,
Mm-hmm.
studied performance, and of course, the guys who had bucked their brains out had a testosterone level like mountains higher than the guys that abstained, and they concluded that that was a complete myth. And
Right. So Rocky should have fucked her the night before the event.
Yes, he should have.
yep,
That's
yep,
right. Because he
100%.
wanted it, he missed out.
But
Exactly.
if we could pull this sports science idea into this Olympics, I'd like to know who has the strongest thrust for one, and who has the highest RPMs.
So for me, I would want to blood test a bunch of these guys before they got with the woman and then have her fuck them a couple times and blood test them again and see which woman made the testosterone go up the highest.
Oh God, that's a lot of blood tests.
I know. This
Mm.
is my Olympics.
This
I
is
get to do
this
it.
is a medical sexual Olympics.
Right, a medical sexual stuff. So one of the other topics that you missed, Roger, and we got to was what is the most unusual or different place that you have fucked? Okay, and I told the story about me and Fabio doing it in a National Museum's family bathroom, but that was one upped by Steve. Um, Steve, do you want to let Roger know your answer?
Was was that the one down at Big Dick Donnie's? Right?
I was no. It was the with you and Elle where she made you stop at that one place and get out and fuck her.
Yeah. It's a cemetery.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sex in the cemetery. Not Sex in the City. Sex
Okay,
in the
Wednesday
cemetery.
Adams.
Yes, you
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, do you have an answer for that one, or you want to remain silent and think about it?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's the
Uh,
most unusual place that you have fucked somebody?
Most unusual, paired with probably a highest level of difficulty. Um, when I met Dee and we were like just kind of horsing around, getting together. We I'm sorry, AKA just fucking.
Yeah.
Um, you know, kind of a just pillow talk. Yeah, where have you always lived? She's like, I've always wanted to do it in a canoe.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god!
I'm
Oh,
like,
that's risky.
I'm
Tippity
gonna
tip.
when. I'm like, I'm gonna rent one. Let's go for a little boat ride, and we
Yeah.
did. We did. We paddled up into this. Just went paddling down, paddled up into this little cove, and got it on. And like the idea of it is really hot. Level of difficulty, nearly distracted from. I and I mean, you know,
Oh, that's great.
the crossbars for stability are great and they're functional until you try to fuck, and then they're in the way. Um, like you're having to like slide
Oh,
under.
did you
I'm
wear a
having to
life
slide
jacket?
under it because I'm trying to lay down so she can squat down on top of it, and the whole time you're trying to keep it from tipping, and then
And then there are ribs on the bottom for support that get in the
right
way too. Yeah.
that's
Jeez. Ooh.
uncomfortable as all hell, and there no and then so when of course, with kind of any woman doing that, her legs gonna get a little tired and like, okay, well here,
Oh,
let's try doggy style. You want to kill your knees? A canoe will do it.
yeah.
You'll be walking
So
funny for 2 days.
if we ever talk about a Kodak moment, that's what that is. It looks better in pictures just to say, hey, than it
You know it's
was in
real
real
because
life.
he's telling you this is really what happened.
This is,
It's not
that's
a
right.
bullshit fantasy
That's
of
right.
I
I'm
fucked
not
some girl in
fucking
a
making
canoe. It
it
was the
up.
hottest
We
thing
No.
ever.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
it's on that list. A whole,
I,
it's a fantasy, not so
Oh,
great of a reality thing.
I'm
So, with that being said,
okay.
that's
and
good.
we should have done it 10 years ago because now the way we're both kind of sore, I don't know how we pull it off, but we've always wanted to do a smart car.
Oh,
Oh, the little car.
Yeah, the
I
little
want to do
ass car.
little spaces. I'm too old to do little spaces
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
I want
I
big
don't,
ass bed.
I
I'm
mean,
too
But
tall. I love big
unless that
cars.
seat can lay back enough. I mean, she's still fairly flexible, but I don't know. I don't know. What
I think it brings up another category for sexual Olympics, the regatta.
How small a space
The
can you
regatta.
have?
It's like with
That's
sailboats and canoes, you can decide, or it's surfboard.
the
or an
dinghy
airplane
the
bathroom.
dinghy event.
We can put post in spaces, but or I was just thinking of they have, the regattas where they have the canoe races and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one.
here's the event: the Johnny on the spot. Get a
Oh
Johnny on the spot and
God.
do it in
Oh
there.
Ew,
God.
ew,
That's an
ew,
ew.
ew.
That's an
No,
ew for
now
me.
come on. It'd be
Run
sterilized and
away.
everything, but still,
Run
it's
away.
something
I
that's
I don't care. Run away. That's not run
uh
away.
no, we no
I'm
kink
sorry. If
shame,
I'm
but
with a guy
ew,
that says, I want
ew.
to go in and do you in a porta
Nah,
potty, I
nah.
am done with that
Bye
guy.
bye.
Done.
Uh-huh.
Like,
you,
Bye bye.
no.
you know,
No.
That's deal breaker for me. Deal breaker.
That
Forget
or an
if that's your
outhouse.
kink. If that's
Outhouse?
your kink,
No. Mm-mm.
I'm shaming you. If that's your kink,
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
me too.
this
not
is
for me. I'm
this is
not helping
so
you with that one.
this is so fucking funny that this was mentioned. I tell you guys, I'm write jokes, and sometimes it's not like you can just sit down and write a story. Sometimes you just think of something stupid, and then you come back to it. And I've had this line in this list of things, and I've just there's just nowhere to go with it to make it a joke, and it's only 3 words. It's Blumpkins are nasty.
Lump or
A
nah.
Blumpkin is when a girl gives a guy a blowjob while he's sitting on the toilet taking a
oh
shit.
my, no,
Oh!
no, 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 no,
Oh!
no.
No,
Oh!
There's a
no,
king shame.
no,
That's a king shame.
That's a big
no.
one. I'm sorry.
I've got
That's
like nowhere to go with it. And I'm just like, well,
no,
should we put it on a t-shirt?
no, it
Oh,
shouldn't go anywhere. It shouldn't go anywhere.
It should go in the toilet and stay
Yeah.
there.
That I
I
it,
can't believe there's a
I
word for it. Ew.
I will
Ew.
bring this back to
Ew.
something a little nicer. This does remind me of one of my favorite jokes to tell, and it's that there's this lady that lives next to two married couples living next to each other. The one lady loses her husband. The one guy loses his wife, like in a couple of months ago, and the next door neighbor, she lost her husband like a week ago. She'd been married to him for 45 years. Okay, so he's out deciding that he's always wanted to take her out on a date, and so he comes over and asks her, would you like to go out with me? I mean, we're both recently single. I'll be respectable. And he says, would you like to go fishing with me? And she says, sure. And he goes, okay, show up in my on Saturday and I'll take you fishing. So they get in the boat his little dinghy, and they are going up the river, and he comes to a fork in the river, and he wants to be gracious and give her the chance to say which way. So he says to her, up or down. And she stands up, takes off all of her clothes, and fucks him, fucks his brains out. And he is just thrilled. Okay. He's like, oh, well, that's pretty good for a first date, right? And so they keep going on the river, and they come to the next fork in the road, and this time he's fork in the river, and he is basically kind of happy now. And he turns to her and says, now with a little bit of elation, up or down. And she stands up once again, takes off all of her clothes, and fucks him. God, this is the greatest. Why did I not know this lady was living next door to me? So he takes her back home for the day, and they're done fishing, takes her back home. And he says, would you like to do this again next weekend? And she says, sure. Okay. So the next weekend, he is anticipating all week that this is going to happen. All right. So she shows up. He's ready to go. He's like, oh, this is a great time. We're going to go fishing. And so they get out on the river. They come up to the first fork, and he turns to her and says, up or down. And she answers him back, up. And she doesn't do anything. She doesn't take her clothes off or anything else. Okay. So now he's like, I don't know what the hell is going on, because she's a completely different person than last week. And so they come up to the next fork, and he's like, well, maybe she's just decided this is a one-time deal. So he's like, with much anticipation, he says to her, up or down. And she just turns to him and says, down, and does nothing in addition. And so he finally, they're going along the river, and he stops the boat and says, I'm really curious about what happened between last week and this week. And he's like, why are you so different? And she goes, oh, she said, well, it's because I forgot my hearing aids last week, and I've got them in this week. And so last week I thought you said, fuck or drown. So you can put that in your routine, Roger.
That is.
Oh, that's brilliant.
An old person's.
That's a brilliant one. That's a good one.
That one, I had to be careful how I said this without saying it. That one is going to work with me.
Yeah.
That one.
I know.
Yeah.
The age where I'm really going to understand it. And
well, that's true. It's sad, but true.
I mean, I remember when I heard this when I was younger, I was like, yeah, but at least she was the kind of woman that fucked him. Okay, and then why did she come back the next week?
That's a
she
good
must
one.
have liked it. It was good sex. All right, you guys, I think I've taken this further. We're beyond time, but that's what happens when we're having a great conversation. For all of you flies on the wall who've lasted till the end, I hope you heard that joke. Roger has one more thing he'd like to say.
To close this out,
all right.
The honorable mention of a chick who always needs a retwist refers to people, likely women, who have dreadlocks, and need to have them retwisted frequently to maintain desired hairstyle.
Ew!
I just wanted to close it out on that one, just so we all know what we're talking.
Yeah, that's not on the list for me.
Well, need a retwist and a good piece of ass. Okay.
I mean, because the guys, for me, I don't care. It's not a race thing. Because the white guys that have their hair in dreads. Nope, I don't care if I don't care what your skin color is. If your hair in dreads is dirty to me, right? Nasty.
I don't like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll do it quick because I already mentioned it. Go to the website if you want to send us a note. An email. You want to tip Mandingo? Please do so. He does this thing for free. We do have one more sex item that now we're going to have to talk to him about the beads. The question is, I want you to think. I'm going to give you guys homework between now and the next episode. What are we naming the anal beads that go around your waist? So think about that. Don't tell me now, but think about it.
All right.
So we're all on the same page. We're talking about, you've got, like, let's just, for a number, let's just say you got 10 beads shoved in your ass. and it's coming out and going around your waist and tied up like all nice and hanging, right?
Not necessarily. What I was talking about was just a versatile waist belt that had like the 9 or 10, maybe 6 or 7 nodules that are bigger, obviously for anal beads, and then they have a longer string and they hook around your waist so that you can easily convert them from around your waist to take it off, lube it up, and stick it up your ass. That's where I was.
Oh, I
wasn't
thought you were going to be
connecting it.
walking. Oh, I was connected.
Okay, we could have several
Like a tail.
styles. We could have several styles. Oh,
I'm almost thinking there's something like that already out there. But I'm going to find
well,
it.
we'll have to do it. So let's do our homework. Anyway,
Name the
All right.
we're
product.
closing out the show. Thank you for lasting as long as you have. For all of you flies on the wall, please come back. And I want you to hopefully, when after you listen to these great conversations and hear these jokes, I want you to come again and come again and come again.
That's it for this episode of Beyond Monogamy. We hope you enjoyed our podcast, and we look forward to having you back again for the next episode of Beyond Monogamy.